Welcome to this video. Here we discuss about the features of transnationalism. We have seen that transnationalism is the transnational engagement between primarily migrant communities and their homelands. This involves two spaces and different actors. Transnationalism has several features. First, we can see multiple identities. Transnational people and communities have multiple identities that are influenced by several factors. The first is their travel to various places, because these people travel to many places, or a group of people move from one place to another place. And they are exposed to different cultures or alien cultures, unfamiliar cultures. So the travel and their meeting with different cultures put them or results in their multiple identities. The examples of these identities are national, ethnic, religious, and cultural. Transnationalism involves people having multiple national identities. People from different nationalities are involved in transnationalism. At the very same time, they may share different national identities. One, that of their country of origin. The other is the country of destination. It also involves multiple ethnic identities, because transnationalism involves people of different origins. So ethnicity, diversity in ethnicity is another aspect of transnationalism. Also, the transnational actors may hail from different religions. So religion is another base of identity that is involved in transnationalism. And again, cultural affiliations are different. So in a sense, we can see that transnationalism involves different varying identities based on nationality, ethnicity, religion, and different cultures. This is because the people or communities usually travel to different places and they engage with different cultures. They hold their own culture, they meet with alien cultures. So this is a peculiar character of transnationalism. So also transnational networks are there. Means transnational networks are the links people and communities engaged in, or the networks that link, that integrates the people and communities internationally are known as transnational networks. The networks that's spanning across national boundaries. So an immigrant community or a migrant community may have transnational networks, the networks that connects them with their homeland, their relatives in the homeland, their peer groups in the homeland, and their community in the homeland. So they are in constant connectivity. They do not usually stop there or give up their relationships once they are at the destination. These networks are fostered by the communication technology, especially today. Even in the previous time, the history we can see in the history, the migrant communities, they maintain their relationships across nations, especially with the homeland, using postal service, telephone services, etc. But today, there's a plethora of opportunities, devices, media available to maintain this transnational ties, especially with the development of communication technology. A lot of methods are there. The relationships, the networks established are social networks, economic networks, political networks, and other types of professional networks. A lot of networks are there. So all these networks are maintained intact or in a greater strength due to the advantage of communication, information and communication technology. So transnational networks are much stronger and intact than that they were in the past. Another character is of transnationalism is the fluidity and mobility of the people. So people now can travel between nations much easier way. They can maintain the relationship with not only with the home states or the communities, their relatives at the home state, but even among the communities, similar communities elsewhere. For say, example, the Indian diaspora is able to maintain the relationship with people back at home in India. At the very same time, they are able to establish relationship with other similar diasporas across other nations. So the possibility of establishing and maintaining a relationship between transnational networks between or among people, among the diasporas in the UK, in the USA, in the Canada, Australia, it's also possible and it also happens. So such is the vast possibility of international networks. Another feature of transnationalism is the establishment of hybrid culture or hybridity. This is also largely contributed by the transnational networks or the ICT mediated communication. Consequent to transnationalism, hybrid cultures established or hybrid cultures emerged, incorporating the elements of various traditions and cultures. Not the incorporation of the elements of host and home cultures, even the incorporation of cultures elsewhere. For example, an Indian diaspora or the members of the Indian diaspora in the US may share or they may join together the cultures of the US, their host state, the cultures of the home state, that's India. But at the same time, they may share the cultures of Africa, the cultures of East Asian nations, other East Asian nations, the cultures of European nations, whoever they come into contact with. So multiple relationships are possible. Multiple integrations are possible. All these results in the hybridity of culture. These hybrid cultures usually exhibit a certain level of creativity because new forms of culture is evolving due to the amalgamation of two or more different cultures. There is possibility of invention, new things may be innovated. And also, there is much diversity in the culture because the culture now or the culture that is resulting from transnationalism is no more monolithic. It's hybrid culture, respecting and reflecting the cultural elements of other cultures. So it's very, very, very diverse today due to transnationalism, because different people and different cultures come into contact with each other. So there's a respect and appreciation of differences, diversity, and so on. There's also appreciation for individuality, because people have the choice of taking up, accepting, or rejecting any culture, their own culture or other cultures. Another aspect of transnationalism is the challenges it poses to nation states. We have already seen that transnationalism is the international or transnational engagement that is actually making the conventional notion of nation states or national boundaries insignificant. So it's actually posing challenges to the notion of nation states, the notion of national identities, the notion of national borders. So people maintain relationships and allegiances outside the national boundaries. All these make the traditional idea of national identity and citizenship in danger. It's working against the traditional idea of nationality. The nationality, in the traditional sense, has become meaningless in the current society where transnational relationships rule. So it's also resulted in the discussions on the function and legitimacy of nation states. So the concept of nation state and nationality is debatable concepts in the new globalized world where transnational relationships and networks dominate or rules.